Hey, how's it going, guys? If you made it to this video, that means you didn't pass out from the other video, from how entertaining it was, and you're eager to learn more about the mechanics of the build. So, on paper, this build doesn't look tanky. I'm running 6 pieces of light armor, which is normally really squishy, and generally, stamina knight players just eat through cloth because of their armor reduction passives. But we're going to go into the details about this build, why it works, why it's powerful. The basic playstyle around this build is you hit like a truck. You don't need a lot of recovery because you kill things instantly. And you're extremely tanky because your heals are free. And your stamina pool is sometimes infinite. So with those clever mechanics, we can achieve high spell damage to blow things up and dedicate nothing towards tankiness, but still be really, really tanky, and I'm going to explain why. So, nothing special about the spells on the DPS bar. We just got the natural stuff here. In group, I'll just take off Elusive Mist because I know people are going to run Rapids, and I'll maybe slot Defensive Posture for that Reflect and damage reduction while blocking, or Luminous Shards for that additional 50% damage reduction against melee attacks. So I mean, like, I'm not even stacking everything into a damage reduction yet. So, but this is my open world 1vx setup. This is the build I'm going to show you guys. Variations for a group. There's so many different things you could do differently. So again, damage bar. Is there a leg? Damage bar is pretty self-explanatory. Got a 12k proxy dead unbuffed. And then we got our healing bar, which is going to be interesting. We're going to get into the mechanics here. So the reason why I'm running two-hander is because when you kill something, the Battle Rush passive gives you stamina recovery, 30% stamina recovery. That's great, but on a magic build that's not much. I'm running 611 stamina recovery, just default Magicka build, no medium armor pieces equipped. It's just so damn low. But we don't need willpower 3-piece jewelry enchantment for that extra spell damage on both bars. And I'll explain why in a second. It's because my heals are too strong as is, and I'll explain what that means. So we're gonna put stamina recovery on the sword and shield bar so that while we're tanking, and when tanking I don't mean perma blocking. I mean on your healing on your sword and shield bar. When you're on your sword and shield bar, you'll have that extra stamina recovery going off for you, and everything's gonna stack. All your stamina recovery is gonna stack, and I'll explain in a second. So you get 30% stamina recovery for killing something. You get 189 stamina recovery for the 3-piece bonus of endurance. Because remember, we're running the necklace of endurance and the sword and shield. You'd also additionally get 10% stamina recovery, along with health and magic recovery, with repentance, and then you get an additional 10% stamina and magic recovery with slotting a vampire spell. So ultimately, what this is doing is everything's stacking, including the champion points, to give me around 1450 stamina recovery. So we just went from 912 to 1450, and that's huge. That's in 20 seconds I can get 100% stamina, I think, if my math's right. In 20 seconds I'll go from 0 to 100% magic stamina, and that changes if you pot, because you'll get more regen and more stamina. That changes when you repentance your engine guardian or dead bodies, because you're gonna be massacring things with this build. So 20 seconds sounds like a long time, but I mean between everything else happening, repentance, pots, and stuff like that, if you're fighting a group of people who don't know what they're doing, you're gonna be 100% stamina. If you're just killing them. So it's beautiful. It's really beautiful that Magicka build can be tanky solely because you are able to keep your stamina recovery really high based on how aggressive you are. Because when you kill people, you get that 30% stamina recovery from your two-hander, and that's going to stack with everything on your sword and shield bar, which is your defense. You don't need stamina recovery on offense because we're a Magicka build, correct? So basically what this build does is you blow things up fast, switch over to your sword and shield bar, and resources everywhere. What that I'm going to explain. So I explained how the stamina pool works, and I'm going to explain how the Magicka pool works. So we're running channeled focus, mainly because of the Magicka recovery. It gives you 400. Let's do some math here. 480 Magicka recovery every 2 seconds. So we're looking at 1470 right now, but put another 480 on there, and that's the Magicka recovery we're getting. And in all honesty, you need at least 1800 Magicka recovery to be somewhat sustained build. Anything more is lots of sustain. Anything less is like, alright, you're gonna run out of Magicka in a fight. And you should see me in 1v1s. I have no Magicka at all. I cannot 1v1 good players for forever. You know what I mean? Like, I hit like a truck and everything, but in all honesty, people who understand the mechanics of the game and know what they're doing in a 1v1 combat, aka like legend duelers, if I go dueling with this build, you run into Magicka issues. So that doesn't take anything from the build. In all honesty, I don't have problems beating a lot of people, but equal opponents to your skill level who have high understandings of resource management and game mechanics will punish your Magicka pool, and that just means you have to pot. Oh no, pots. And my husband's coming out to say hi, guys.
I can do this. Nothing to it. Water sure looks cold.
Come on, honey, don't be a pussy. Just get in there. Come on, hey, you're even a speedo. Come on. Be more enthusiastic about it. It's not that bad. Okay, I think he just wants me to hold his hand. So we're gonna continue the build video.
Too windy. Just too windy right now.
He's a pussy.
I'll try again later.
He's a pussy. I'm looking for a new man if anybody's interested. So anyway, we're stacking high Magicka stamina recovery. We are stacking some Magicka recovery bonuses. Like I said, Repentance and Clouding Swarm are helping us out there. So recovery isn't really an issue. Pots are just OP with the V15 ones that came out. So let's get on to the healing. We're using Honor the Dead, and that's the bread and butter of this build. It returns the cost of the spell over 8 seconds. Most of the cost of the spell. So what you want to do is just heal under 75% health, that's the requirement, and you get the cost of the spell back over 8 seconds. So don't mash your heals, and heal yourself every time you're below 75. 75% of 29k, or 30k, let's just do 30k, because I have, like, where are my stats at? 75% of 30k is 22.5. So basically, what I was explaining about my heals being too strong earlier, and maybe in my other video, is basically, I get a full heal at 75% health, no matter what. Whether it crits, doesn't matter. Whether I'm standing in my Purifying Ritual, doesn't matter. So that's a little bit not good. It is good, because I'll only have to heal under 75%, I won't have to heal twice to get to 100%. If I had like 0 spell damage, I'd probably have to heal like 2 to 3 times to get to full health or something like that. Anyway, so I'm assured when I drop below 75% health, I'm going to get a full health heal. That's important, because I'll get my recovery, and I get a full health heal. So, Structured Entropy increases your max health by 8%. That's huge. You want to have more health on your defensive bar, so that 75% is at a more manageable point. And that manageable point is specifically based on your heal strength and your health pool. So you need to calculate what's 75%. You have to get dorky about it. You have to calculate what's 75% of your max health, and just make sure your heal is going to top you off when you get to that 75% health point. So that's that right there. You basically don't run on Magicka healing, because your Honor the Dead is so nice. Your channeled focus tops off your regen, so you aren't completely lacking regen compared to other Magicka builds. And you basically only want to tank just for a little bit till you can go offensive again. This is a really bursty build. It drops people. It's amazing. It's the playstyle I was looking for, but it's incredibly tanky. And we're gonna get into the details of tankiness now. So we have channel focus for that increased spell resistance and physical resistance. You need high resistance to be tanky in any game, to be honest. So I don't know how to get a first person mode. Okay, that worked. So we're sitting at 11.5k and 20k spell resistance, but then we put down channel focus and we're sitting at 17k and 25k. That's great. Running all impenetrable, or 6 pieces impenetrable and then 7 on the shield, that's going to make you resistance to critical attacks, aka stamina builds. It's really the only defense we have against stamina builds, guys. I really recommend Impenetrable, or Divines. Divines is great too, if you want that on your gear. But I just want to be tanky. I just want to tank and spank, alright? So I just want to be able to take their hits, and then just deal it all back, and be like, have their face blown, like, how's this guy so fucking tanky, and then he two-shots me. That's the mindset of the build. It'd be nice if I had Divines, and I just had a shit ton more magic recovery. Not required, though. I've been playing so long, I just know how much magic recovery I need to be successful, and I think I'm at a good point right now. Especially if I set my channel focus, I'm like at a great point. Magicka isn't an issue, because I could just pot and numbers go through the roof when you Magicka pot. So, because we're stacking a lot into Impenetrable, critical damage isn't extremely dangerous. So lowballing your health isn't always a bad thing, because you know you won't just get crit with like a 20k snipe or something stupid like that. They don't go that high, but that's not the point. So you're stacking a lot into critical hit damage reduction with Impenetrable on your gear and resistant on in the champion point system. So that's important. Critical hits just aren't gonna wreck you. That's important, because a lot of people are also running the Shadow Moonstone for that extra critical damage, and this just completely mitigates that. We also got Thick Skinned, Hardy, and Elemental Defender. Basically, magic DOTs and any DOTs, magic damage, and elemental damage will be reduced, and that's important. When we start stacking damage reduction, our build becomes infinitely stronger. You can't permablock anymore, so stacking damage reduction has been more important than ever. What that means is, you can only block for a certain amount of time before your stamina runs out, and then what are you going to do? Drop your block and instantly get melted. What we're doing with this build is we're making block only a tool to make sure we lowball our health but don't die. Why does the Templar want to lowball their health? Well, basically, they get increased healing effectiveness at low health with mending, and I don't know where that they used to get critical healing bonus at low health too, but I don't see that anymore. So basically, you want that increased healing at low health, and you also want to DPS as much as you can before you have to go back under your defense bar and heal. So we're stacking high damage reduction so that we can just sit there and jab forever. Because Magicka jabs, guys, it heals you, and it heals you for a lot. If you're 1vxing and you're hitting like 4 people, that's some badass heals. It's 40% of the damage done, and that's a big number because of how hard we hit. So if you're getting crazy heals over time from your jabs, the last thing you want to do is have to go on your defensive bar and just waste all your magic and stamina healing and then die. You want to stay on the aggression as much as you can to avoid taking damage, and if you do take damage, at least you can face tank some of it, because we have damage reduction to critical hits, we have damage reduction, we have high resistance physically and spell-wise, and then we have, you know, the champion points helping us with everything. So our objective here is to DPS as much as we can without spending too much time just sitting there and healing like every other Templar. Everything changes when we look at how much damage reduction you can get. How much damage reduction can you get when you have everything working at once? So on your offensive bar, you only have your champion points and your Impenetrable helping you. Oh, and your increased spell and physical resistance with channel focus. So when you're DPSing, you only have your crit reduction from champion points and armor. You have your a little bit of magic damage reduction and DOT reduction from your champion points, and you have that high resistance pool. So you can still drop. It sounds like a lot, but you can still get melted quickly. 2 night plays, you're done on your offensive bar. You need to be careful. You need to put that aggression on them so that you don't get melted. Jabs wins against everybody in the long run. You just need to know how to use it and how to risk your health but not die. And that just comes with practice, guys. Everything goes crazy when we take those benefits from the two-handed bar, because they also carry over to the sword and shield bar. We take those benefits and we amplify them. How do we do that? Well, we're running sword and shield, and sword and shield is the bread and butter to any tank setup, to be honest. Sword and shield gives you 20% damage while blocking. Okay. You already get 50% damage while blocking default with anything. Block with a staff, you get 50% damage reduction. So you have the 50% damage reduction with blocking with anything, 20% because the sword and shield passive, and that's not 70%, that doesn't add up to 70%, by the way. I don't know how it's multiplication, so you'd have to do 20% of 50%. and rip math. I can't do that right now. So you get that 50% damage reduction, 20 from additional from the sword and shield, and then 15% against projectiles, range attack, snipes. You're blocking. You're taking like very little damage from projectiles is what that's going on here. Not to mention your champion points, your impenetrable armor, and your high resistance. If you didn't think that was broken enough, it's always been broken by the way. This is nothing new. If you didn't think it was broken enough, I'm also a vampire. You also get 33% damage reduction based on your missing health. So 1 health you get the full 32.9999% damage reduction. That's scaling with everything I just explained. There's multiple videos where my health bar says dead, and I'm still alive. Because your health, your damage reduction is so high, it turns the next incoming hits to like 10 or 1. So when Crystal frags you for 100 damage, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the actual numbers, but I'm just saying, you can make yourself so tanky at mitigating damage that it just makes 1vx that much easier. This is nothing new. This has been around forever. Not vampire specifically, but this setup has been around for a while now. So I'm just explaining the theory behind the build and why it's working. It's using concepts to make you tanky. It's not an exploit. It's not cheating. I swear to God, I don't run hacks. So basically, it's just doing a couple things right. Your stamina pool is crazy good between repentance and the stamina recovery from everything stacking. Your Magicka pool is really nice between the free heals and the channeled focus. The damage, the spell damage is huge because we're devoting all of our jewelry enchantments and you know, everything into spell damage, aside from our Mundo Stone, which needs to be Atronach to be honest. And then it just all comes together so nicely with the tankiness of sword and shield and everything else. So guys, if you have any questions, I don't know if I hit the mark here. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm more than willing to help out. And I'm gonna go get my husband a blanket because he's just done out here. It's too cold. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. I got lots of content coming out, videos every week. And if you have any questions, just ask them. So take care, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.